Lazy Boy TV coming at you with another video. It's so late at night right now. It is like dumb late right now. I just feel like reacting though. Just want to bring y'all some. So I got these are the best horror films of 2017. It's old, so I'm gonna try to find an updated one, or I'm gonna just find some upcoming horror movies for 2018, like another day. But till then, let's get into it.
From major franchises to brutally clever indie hits, 2017 was a fantastic year for horror. Sure, you probably already know about heavy hitters like It and Get Out, but plenty of other great horror films were also released during the year. If you're in the mood for some spine-tingling additions to your queue, here are our picks for the best horror movies of 2017. Split. M. Night Shyamalan has had a rocky decade or so, but Split was definitely a return to his twisty form. The story focused on the abduction of a group of young women by a man with multiple personalities, which made for a taut and claustrophobic.
Like the end, it gets so crazy. I ain't gonna spoil that. If you ain't seen it already, I'm pretty sure most of you have though. But
critics praised
it's a crazy movie if you ain't seen it already.
As well as Shyamalan's ability to balance those shifting points of view and channel the filmmaking prowess that made him a name to watch after
he has so many personalities.
Even better, the director used his trademark twist in a way that no one saw coming, setting up a must-see sequel. Stephen King's It. Send in the clowns. Stephen King's It
scariest movie of 2017.
As a TV miniseries in
I ain't gonna hold you. This is a scary movie of 2017.
Action version of the author's horror classic still
I ain't think it's gonna scare me that bad,
but it's nothing compared to director Andy Muschietta's
You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it.
Hiya, Georgie.
There's one scene in here so crazy, but he just coming at it. I'm like, slow it down.
The film earned rave reviews, with
hold up,
critics hailing it as a terrifying and clever exploration of the psychological trauma King captured so well.
Oh my goodness, I need to
Bill
watch this.
Skarsgård's take on Pennywise the Clown is basically face-painted nightmare fuel. So taking a trip to the sewers of Derry is well worth the risk.
This the scene. This the scene.
We all float down there, right? Get Out. This isn't just one of the best.
But they didn't show the rest of it.
It's
oh my god, that was the scene though.
Past decade.
He came up.
Director Jordan Peele leaves you guessing right up until the end, slowly ratcheting up
both
the terror
flat.
with a story that starts out like any other innocent average dramedy. Peel back a few layers though, and the story tackles race relations through the lens of a horror tale, serving up a sharp, thoughtful, funny blend of horror and social satire that treads almost a bit too close to reality at times, in ways
it's
that
like a weird movie right here. Hang on, this is like weird. It's like a drama. I wouldn't say it's scary. It's like a
focuses on an artist
drama.
Painting terrifying images after moving
it's not
into
weird. It's not scary though.
And then someone starts terrorizing him and his family.
I don't remember painting this.
This scary look into the depths of human depravity doubles as a clever subversion of the horror movie tropes viewers have come to expect, and was thus one of the most underrated movies of the year. Lake Bottom. If you're looking for a throwback to the classic days when machete-wielding maniacs prowled the woods and menaced unsuspecting teens,
like a scene
book a trip
off
to
Jason.
director Talani Muskanen's Lake Bottom. This classically styled slasher focuses on the urban legend of a viciously fatal night that occurred decades ago, as a group of teens plan a trip to investigate and recreate the events of the old tale. But it turns out they're in for a lot more than a mere homage. Even if the movie doesn't exactly reinvent the gore genre, this is still a scary good time. Life. This space-set sci-fi horror flick hit the sweet spot by throwing The Thing, Gravity, and Alien into a blender. The result was a whole lot of terrifying fun. It focuses on the crew of the International Space Station as they investigate a mysterious new life form that's been recovered on Mars. Their experiments quickly take a turn for the worse when they realize this alien creature might be a lot smarter and more sinister than they'd given it credit for.
Life's very existence requires destruction.
It Comes at Night. This post-apocalyptic psychological horror flick picks up after a virus has wiped out most of the world's population.
First 5 minutes of it,
the story focuses on a family that's cut itself off from the rest of the world to avoid the plague. When another group of survivors join them, paranoia and fear of what might be in the woods drives them beyond the edge.
It's just not my
praise the film for finding terror in the relationship among survivors and bringing a refreshingly simple doom to a tale of the apocalypse. A dark song. When you dabble in the dark arts, it's almost certainly destined to go wrong. That's the premise behind A Dark Song, which follows two people who retreat into a house in the woods to try and make contact with those in the beyond. What happens will stick with you long after the movie ends. nestling into your psyche
Why?
for some
What is your
lingering
purpose?
scares. It might have initially flown under the radar,
Still, why?
but a dark
Let him
song
be,
is well
You're
worth
not
a visit.
bringing him back. Why?
The story of a vegetarian who develops a taste for raw meat is an interesting narrative, but Raw rings that premise for all it's worth and more, telling a story with deep social and emotional poignancy, with a clever spin on the challenges.
What kind of mind do you have to have
and
to
the
think
way
of stuff like
writer
this? I
and
just want to
director
know
Julia
how do people
Ducournau
think
wraps
of
that
this?
story
Like, just make this
is a
stuff up.
gory masterpiece,
Like, this is
positively
off the top of their
driven
head.
with viscera and blood. The Girl with All
Like,
the
I
Gifts.
never understand.
One of the smartest zombie movies in recent years, The Girl with All the Gifts uses the undead to explore some deeper emotional and philosophical questions. The story focuses on
I
a
ain't heard
group of
about
children
this.
who are somehow
It's new to me.
immune to an epidemic disease which has destroyed the world, and the role they can play in saving humanity. It might be a post-apocalyptic zombie story with doses of sci-fi, but the film is packed with more than a few good scares. Annabelle Creation. The Conjuring has quickly become one of the biggest horror franchises of the decade, and the latest spin-off from the creepy mother
It's another
does
scary
not
movie.
disappoint.
Like, I need-
Annabelle
Yes,
Creation, the second film to focus on
It's
the
top three.
various
No.
antique doll featured in the main Conjuring films,
Top three,
jumps
top
back
five.
in time
Top
to
five.
tell a
I give it
story
top
from when
five,
Annabelle was
2017,
still
top
a
five.
relatively new danger doll.
Scariest
A marked
movies,
improvement
2007. I
over
give
the
it top
first
five.
Annabelle film.
This ain't one of
and
those
a
spots
surprisingly
in the top
moody
five.
and
I'll take that
effective
now.
horror yarn. Happy Death Day. If you're looking for a horror flick with some biting humor, make a date with
Yeah,
Happy
I was
Death
just about to
Day.
say, it's like a
It's
comedy.
Groundhog Day with
It's
a
more of a
bloody
comedy.
slasher twist. The film centers on
That's
a
crazy.
college student who's executed on her birthday, which she has to keep reliving over and over until she can figure out who attacked her. The story has charm, and although derivative, offers up some authentic thrills and humor for audiences of the jump scare persuasion. The Babysitter. Netflix's The Babysitter is one heck of a fun little horror romp, best described as an R-rated, blood-soaked, titillating modern-day spin on a 1980 horror B-movie.
I don't know
It's obviously
about
low
this
budget,
one.
but
That's
although it's not high art, the film is well
This is
worth
number
the
2.
hour and a half it takes to kick back and enjoy it.
Number
It's a
2,
cheesy
though?
good
I
time,
wanna
so
give it
give
number
it a
2.
shot, and The Babysitter
buddy.
might just be the
Number
silly
2.
little surprise you needed this year.
No, sir. I gotta see the number
Better
1 and this
watch
number
out.
2.
Critics are calling this one Home Alone meets The Strangers because the film puts a spin on the home invasion thriller formula. Better Watch Out follows what happens when invaders break into a home protected by a group of kids and a babysitter. Instead
This is
of
not
retreating
the
in
worst.
fear,
This.
kids start setting booby traps and have a whole lot of R-rated
Oh my-
fun
hey,
in the
did
process
Insidious?
to protect the house.
Did Insidious?
With
The last
plenty of
Insidious
twists
come out
to
2000?
unwrap
No, it came out
before
18. I'm
the
tripping.
credits
This is not number 1. I see
Super
that now.
Dark Times. If you're looking for a VHS era throwback, the 1990 set Super Dark Times finds terror in the simple, boring life of suburbia. The visceral thriller is considered a coming-of-age nightmare
Oh, I'm
and
bugging.
landed
This
near
is not in
universal
order.
critical acclaim. The
I'm
story follows a group of
bugging.
teens
It's
who are
time for
driven
me to go
apart
to sleep.
following
I
the
am
disappearance
bugging.
of
This is
another
not in
teen,
order.
and presents
I
a
just started my
bygone
own list.
era of innocence through a
This is not
bloody,
in order.
intense lens.
Oh my god, I need to go to
Gerald's
sleep. I'm
Game.
bugging right now.
Stephen King's collection has been all over the small and silver screens this year, but the latest adaptation quietly slipped under the radar, despite being one of the best of the
I had to
bunch.
be in the background.
Gerald's Game follows a wife
Nice.
who's left shackled to a bed after a weekend getaway with her husband takes a dark turn. She's forced to face everything from starvation to her own doubts and demons as she tries to find a way to escape and survive. The novel was previously thought to be unfilmable, so imagine everyone's surprise when the movie not only happened, but turned out to be pretty great, without sacrificing the meat of the story. Thanks for watching. Click the looper icon to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Plus, check out all this cool stuff we know you'll love too.
That's crazy. That's it. Tell me how you like the video. You feel me? Goal is 5 likes. You know this already. 3 videos tomorrow. 3 videos coming tomorrow. You feel me? I'm out.